This is an informational review video for Sing, Spell, Read, Write, Pre-Kindergarten Alphabet Lane and Readiness Lane worksheets. I did not purchase the entire pre-kindergarten set. I just purchased the worksheets, and I wanted to show you what is available with the worksheets so that you can decide if you just need the worksheets or if you'd like to buy the complete set. My most recent check online, it looks like just the worksheets are about $20. If you buy the entire set, it's $75 to $80, I believe. So the first section is all Alphabet Lane, and basically what it is you'll have the child trace the shape. You'll ask them what it is. They'll say apple, and you'll say the beginning of that sound. Say the beginning of that word, and so they'll say ah. So you say that's the sound that A makes, ah, ah, apple, and they'll repeat ah, ah, apple. And then they can color it in as well. The second side, then, you can say to them ah, ah, address, ah, ah, alligator, and so forth through each of these various pictures. All of these pictures will have the ah sound. The next page will be some with the ah sound at the beginning and some without. So ah, ah, accident, they would say that that does work, that it does start with the ah sound, but for ah, ah, carrots, they would say that it doesn't. So they will color then the pictures of the items that are correct and cross out the items that are incorrect. And I have mine in page protectors, and so you'll see on some of these there's still marker on them where the child has marked off that it was incorrect, and then they just circled the ones that were correct. And then the last page that they have for each letter, they're asking them to draw something into the picture. So for example, this says draw an apple for Alan to throw to the alligator. So he or she will draw an apple somewhere on the page. Might look like a circle, it might look like a blob depending on the age, it might actually look like an apple. So they'll draw that picture and then they can color the rest of it in as well. So you'll see that for each of the letters. So bone, basket, and over here they have to figure out which ones are correct. So they'll say them and mark them off. There are only a couple pages that I've found that don't have instructions on them. So for this one I have no idea if they want to draw a ball for the bunny in the bed. I'm not sure. But probably something that starts with B. I just don't know what for this one. The rest of the pages I believe have the instructions all written on them. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same for each of the letters. So we'll go through to the next section. So you get all the way up to zoo, and they're drawing something in the zoo there. Then they get to colors. So for the first page of the colors, they will color all the items red. So those three items they will color red. And on the second page for it, they will have to choose to color the items that are red or can be red, and then cross out the items that are never red. So they'll do that with each of the different colors as you go through. You can see there's purple and pink. All your basic colors are included. And then they move on to shapes. So we have a circle, and you'll ask them what shape it is, see if they know it, and ask them what items in the home are this shape, the circle, what items are outside are a circle. And you can do that for each of the shapes. You have them trace the shape, and then you can have them put X marks depending on what the directions say, or what directions you feel like making up. You can have them color in the shape that they're working on, the circles. So for each one they teach them the shape, they have them trace the shape, and then they have another activity for it, identifying which one in a group. Which ones in a group are that shape. So they go through that. When they do triangles, I noticed this one page is a cutout page. They ask the child to cut out the rectangle and then cut along the dotted line and ask them what shape this is. So it's a triangle, so that's how they teach them triangles. So you go through your basic shapes, and then they can count how many triangles they see, or rectangles and circles and these various things. They also can draw pictures of things inside. So flowers, I think, are here. Draw your face in here. They ask them how many sides the pool has. Discrimination, visual discrimination. This way. Which one is different in each of the groups. Counting the shapes again. So identifying the various shapes that you see in common objects as well. Here we go. Visual discrimination in pairs. So which pair looks different. Here they're cutting out the shapes, and they color them and cut them out, and they paste them on here. Then we get to the section on visual discrimination. They do size, so large and small, or big and little, which one's larger, which one's smaller. Direction, which one's looking left, which one's looking right. Alike and different, so what's different from these three? Well, that one doesn't have a tail. And there are instructions, so which one's different. Some of the pages will say which two are alike. So there's that section. There's sequencing also in this section. Circle the pony that comes first. So they'd have to circle this one. There's some with middle and last as well. Matching, that's the same as alike basically, because they're matching items that are alike. Then we have opposites, big and little. Up and down, over and under, in front of and behind, on and off, things like that. So your opposites. I'm going to go through everything. They're adding some things to the various pictures as you go. Which road has many cars, which road has few cars. And then we have directional concepts next to, so draw a face on the child next to the teacher, color the beads that have the string going through them, left and right. They do quite a few pages with left and right, which I think is good. Then there are just a few pages here with classification where the child cuts out the pictures and they decide if it goes in the toy store, the clothing store, and then there's another set for the furniture store and the grocery store. And then we have sequencing the story. There are a few stories in here, so they have to tell you which picture comes first, second, third, and fourth, or next, depending on which vocabulary you are working on. And then last are the seasons. So they'll look at the picture and you'll ask them what are the clothing that they need, what is the clothing that they need for that particular season. So for winter, and they'd follow the directions for that, to color them in or X them out or put them a specific color, depending on what the directions say, or depending on what you decide to make the directions. So, and that's kind of what they basically end with. There's this one page at the end about dressing themselves, and they can check off if they're able to do each of these items. Can they do buttons and zippers and things like that, and hats and things? Am I able to put these items on myself? And that's the end. So this is what the two workbooks, or the two, they're not really workbooks for this level, it's just a packet of worksheets, the two different sets. They're all in one package, but it's considered two sets. Alphabet Lane, that's the alphabet section, and then Readiness were all the other worksheets that we had. So hopefully this helped you to understand a little bit more. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. Have a good one.